Hello.
What's
Hi.
up?
Hey, what's
Hi.
up?
I'm so happy to be here.
Hey, thank you so much for talking with us.
Are you kidding me? I'm so excited.
This is awesome. Do you say Adessa or Odessa? Or
Adassa.
Adassa. Okay, I just want to make
Neither of those. Good effort, though.
Either one. I'm 0 for 2. Well, awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. Obviously have a lot of questions for you, but the first one is obviously Encanto is blowing up, and right away I want to say with kids, but we have all seen it. The adults are talking about. We actually had a full blown conversation in the gym, all adults about Encanto, and one guy even started singing a little. So,
No.
yeah. While we were warming up for our workout today.
I would have loved that. That TikTok would have gone viral if you just did it.
Oh man.
You should have done it. Oh my gosh. That would have been awesome.
I didn't know it was gonna happen. I really wish I would have known it was gonna happen.
Wow.
No, when my husband and I watched it, my husband is still singing. We don't talk about Bruno. My 31-year-old husband. I called him earlier, and that's how he answered, was with the song, singing it.
We
So.
don't know about what you need, baby.
Yeah, the Bruno song, like literally before I saw the movie, my fiance and her daughter were singing it so much that I was like actively mad about it. Like, guys, stop. Like, but then I saw it, I'm like, okay, I get it. But before I was like, chill out with that song. Very popular.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even imagine now then if they were doing that then. Oh my.
So obviously your character Dolores has the magical power of hearing. Now,
Yes.
is this also in real life? Like if
you whisper right now, I can hear you.
Okay. So you do have those powers in real life as well. That's what I mean. That was the big question I had too.
My kids seem to think so because they're like, Mom, how did you hear that? I'm like, I just know, honey. I do. No, I can hear her.
How many kids do you have? We were talking about
7.
that. 7?
7.
Wow.
Wow.
We thought 6.
Our eldest is 27. But I call him I'm the Latin mama from that one. The other 6, yeah, that's my husband and I. That's the Brady bunches after that. So my eldest with my husband is 23. Then we have a 12-year-old, a 10-year-old boy, and then an 8-year-old girl, a 5-year-old girl, which she's like the hurricane, and then a 2-year-old baby girl. So yeah.
You do not look like you could have a 23-year-old.
23. Yes.
That's crazy. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, she's out of the house. She has 2 cats and she's living her life. It's wonderful.
So what do your kids think about the movie? Are they like, are they, does it freak them out a little bit, or are they, do they watch it too much, or how's that?
Oh my goodness. I'll tell you a story about yesterday.
All right.
I was at Publix. This actually. Okay. I was at Publix with the kids, and all of a sudden my 12-year-old sees her friend, and they were like, oh my gosh, I love it. And then she was like, Mom, do the thing. And I was like, what? Do the thing? In the middle of Publix. I'm shopping for lunch here. And yeah, so they make me sing in front of their kids all the time. They're like, hey, can you do my friend's birthday party? I'm like, okay. I mean, I feel glad, I'm flattered, but at the same time, it's like I had to whip it into song. Go to live in fear of Bruno stuttering and stumbling. I can always hear him sort of muttering and mumbling. I associate him with the sound of falling sand. Shh, shh, shh. It's a heavy lift, but the gift so humbling. Always let the abuela and the family fumbling, grappling with prophecies they couldn't understand. Do you understand? So do you want the chicken or the fish? Literally. Right?
That was amazing getting to see that. I have a question about the song. When you go to record it, is it just like, do you hear the other people that are around you, or did you literally just do your sections just alone?
My sections just alone because of protocols and COVID restrictions. I wish it could be like Kristen Bell is like my all-time favorite. She's my female crush. She's like, I love Kristen Bell. So when I saw what she did in Let It Go, you know, and when she was with them and she was like in the studio and they were practicing together, I was like, oh, that would be so cool. But because of COVID, I had to do it from our studio. And they only let you see and hear one little piece of the mosaic of the grandeur of this piece. So all I knew was what was going to happen probably 10 seconds before, maybe 15 seconds after, just that little trail off. And I never really heard the voices of Renzi as Camilo, or, you know, I never heard Pepa and I never heard Felix until we saw the full artwork come together.
Wow.
And heard it, and I was like, these people are magicians. Like, how did they make it happen to where it sounded like we were standing right next to each other? And yet we were in studios, one in Colombia, another one was in New York, another one was in Miami, and they made it happen. They're incredible.
Incredible. The music is brilliant. Obviously the guy that wrote it, prolific. Like,
I think people have heard about him.
yeah.
They've heard of him.
Miranda in the Heights, and then, you know, Hamilton. He's an incredible writer because he sees everything in like a multi-dimensional way. He hears music like no other person hear it. And then he sees it, because when you're hearing the songs, he's describing things, and even the movement of the that wasn't animated prior. That was him and his imagination, and then the animation came after his imagination. So he's so creative in the way that he sees and hears music. Only he could have made a masterpiece like this. Like, he knows people and how it's going to resonate within them, and he creates these masterpieces that are incredible.
Man, couldn't agree more. I love that the song nearly even has like a trap beat in it for a little bit. That when that hit, I was like, whoa.
Like this, all that other rhythm comes up, that Montuno steps up, and then it's like boom, and then she's doing her little, and then she still flips it a little bit and does a little hip thing. Woo! Kai Martinez and the team of choreographers, they were insane. They did such a great job. Oh, made me look good as an animated character.
Okay, so
yeah, what was it like
that,
to see yourself animated?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's so surreal, I feel like.
And they even got my ears right. Those were built to scale, people, right there. You know?
That's amazing.
Of the hair and just like even the skin tone, because the way that they made Felix and Pepa was that, you know, the mommy was like redhead and lighter skinned, and then the daddy was very dark skinned Latino, which literally is like my mom and dad. She doesn't have the red hair, but she is lighter, so I came out in the middle. And the way that they did the Dolores character was exactly that description of what happens in Latin families. Like, you'll have a kid with green eyes, and then the other one will be morenito, and the other one will be light skinned, and they're all siblings from the same parents. It always happens.
Man.
Wow.
Now, did you take the pictures with the bow in your hair? I'm looking at a picture right now. Ooh.
For Halloween, I did it and it went viral. I had to do it. My kids were like, so what are you going to dress up as for Halloween? I was like, Dolores. And I went in my closet. I literally found a shirt, cut it up, and I was like, this is perfect. It'll work. And then I went out and I went trick-or-treating with my kids as Dolores with my little red bow and everything. And this was before the movie came out. So I had like my hair nice and high, and I had my big old red bow. I borrowed some stuff from my kids.
And now if you did it this next year, people would like lose their mind. So hey, so I had one question. I think probably we would be really interested in it because we do voice work as well. How did you kind of break into voice work and into movies? It's obviously very desirable what you got to do.
Oh, it is so much fun because you can create so much with just the tone of your voices. Like you guys that are on radio, the way that you interpret it, what kind of voice, if you want to be strong, if you want to be loud, if you want to be, you know, and I love that you can act that. I got started by a friend of my husband who had a production company that did commercials and jingles. And one day the vocalist hadn't come and they canceled, and they were like, hey, you want to step in and maybe sing the vocal for this thing? And I was like, sure, what thing is it? They were like, oh, it's just for McDonald's. And I was like, okay. And yeah, I stepped into the booth and I was like, what do you want me to say? Like, ba-da-ba-ba-ba. And they're like, yep, sounds great. Let's do it in Spanish. And so that my first step into voiceover work was with the McDonald's commercial. And I kid you not, when the checks started rolling in, I was seeing like these checks in the mail, and I thought they were those publisher clearinghouse checks. And like, $2. So I saw like 20 of these things, and I'm like, all right, seriously, like I guess they put everybody's mail in my box. So I threw them in the garbage, all of them. And then my husband was like, maybe we should open one of those up, because they kind of looked real. I'm like, they always look real. It looks like a real check every time. And I opened one up, and it was one of those checks from Talent Partners. It was back then that they were paying, and it was all the royalties of that one commercial. Man, that was like the best vacation year ever.
Yeah. So did you
amazing.
sing that part? Is that like because they've used it a ton of times?
A ton. They used it a ton, and I was the voice worldwide for that commercial. And so that was when I got like, you can make money just out of singing what somebody else writes. I'm a songwriter, and I'm like, I've never seen those kind of checks, not at that beginning of my career. So then I started getting into it, and I got Toyota, and after Toyota, I got Secret, and then I started taking off with my career. So singing and touring, with my own, stuff. So then I did stuff with Pitbull and Snoop and all that. But coming back to voiceover work, it is so fulfilling. Like I cannot wait the next projects. If I could tell, if I hadn't just signed an NDA, oh, they're so good. Excited. I love voiceover work because you can literally be in your socks in the booth, and you can also be in a mountain like Kathmandu, 50 feet. And you're like, I can't breathe right now, but I'm gonna make it, and it's just lovely that you get to create.
So I didn't know if Ginge is a singer-songwriter as well. I didn't know if you guys wanted to talk shop for a minute or tell us a little bit about singing and songwriting. I didn't know if there was any secrets that us regular folks can hear from you guys.
Please, I would love to hear of your experience, doing singing songwriting.
Well, I'm right now just into doing more of like the publishing writing. Like the most recent placement I got was in Germany, as weird as that sounds, for The Voice. It was his like final song, and then he won. That was a big placement. And then the next one that I have is this group, a country group in Germany, wanted an Old Town Road sounding song. And
yes, awesome.
So we made that, and they're really excited about it, and they're cutting that. But I do jingles too. I sing jingles. So some of the same like back experience. And I mean, voice acting, if the opportunity ever presented itself in the future, I could see doing that too. It's just such an extension of the same skill set.
It really is. And my husband and I have a production company that does film and TV music. That's when I took a step back and had the other kids, because the age gap, obviously 23 to 10. I took a little break there between kids while I was touring. And then we just focused on TV and film music. And honestly, we live off of royalties. I love doing this, and this is what's so passionately, I love it, but I'm finally at a point that with placing in TV and film, and my husband has a production music masterclass that he teaches. It literally is called productionmusicmasterclass.com. And he teaches people how to learn those skills to be able to hone in and to place music in music libraries. And then it gives us the freedom of being with our kids and doing what I love, and at the same time taking things like Disney's Encanto and going off on tour if I want to, or not touring, because those royalties really pay the bills and give us a very comfortable life. So I completely believe that if you've already placed, you're on the right track, because what you need to do is satisfy the client. And if you're giving your client what he needs and what he wants, and if he asks you for a song, I want it to sound like Bruno Mars, but I don't want to pay that fee, you know what I mean, to license that song, and you can make something that mimics that, but you have another artist that sounds like Bruno Mars, but is not going to charge you, $50,000 to feature on 16 bars, then you got it going. And if you've already done placements, that means you got the sound that it takes to be able to get those multiple placements. Because what you want is like to have a massive catalog. The bigger that your catalog is in TV and film music, the more that it's just going to be generating for you. My husband has pieces that he placed like 20 years ago, still profiting to this day. So it's a good way to make money.
Such good advice. What'd you say his website was again? I'm going to go take
productionmusicmasterclass.com.
Masterclass. All right, I'm going to go take his class. That's
awesome.
amazing.
Thank you so much for your time. I got to run.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Awesome. If you need anything, please let me know. And, you know, I'm just so grateful for all of the support with We Don't Talk About Bruno. And now with Dos Oruguitas getting a nomination for an Oscar, Lin-Manuel is like, he's this close to that EGOT.
Oh,
Mhm.
oh yeah.
We're so excited.
This was amazing. Thank you so much. Just getting to talk to you is great. Thanks for those little
Yeah.
tips too.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.